If you're not involved in the SSA and you're in storage, I don't know how you're operating.
Why even be in the business if you don't have the advantages of what the SSA offers?
They're nuts if they don't join.
I just think, who doesn't want to help someone be successful?
What is up, SSA? I'm your host, Erin Lightfoot. I'm the Director of Education and Events here at the Self-Storage Association. The Self-Storage Association is the only not-for-profit trade association working for you every day. With us today is my co-host and producer, Sarah Kautzman. Sarah, welcome.
Hello, Erin. Thank you so much for taking this on as our fearless leader and host. People were so excited to see us in San Antonio at Spring Conference when we were gathering our very first conversations for this podcast, and some of the feedback we got on site just really leads me to believe that people are excited to get more of an inside scoop on what you and our team are doing every day to connect and protect and unite the industry.
That's right. And in our first episode, we had the opportunity to get some insight from several SSA staff members, including Jenny Stengel, Senior Vice President of Events and Education. She's going to share how we keep our educational content fresh, relevant. I also had the chance to speak with Joe Doherty, our Executive Vice President and Chief Legal Counsel, who gave us a crash course on the surveillance pricing bills that are affecting our industry. And on day 2, we did get the lowdown on the new SSA member zone from Julie LaRose, who is our Senior Vice President of Membership and States.
And she's so fun on the trade show floor. I just love hanging out with her.
Infectious energy, that woman.
While we were at the trade show, you were also able to grab some time with Bryn Lee from Zarkor, who is heavily involved in our Young Leaders Group, or YLG. But then it really turned into an interesting conversation on the generational shift that we're seeing happening in the industry right now.
Yeah, I loved hearing how social groups like the SSA's YLG are integral in fostering connections and maintaining that industry-wide belief that sharing of best practices helps everyone, which it truly does. We also had the opportunity to snag one of our busy vendor members, Sydney from Elevate Structures. She was gracious enough to share a little bit of her time with us and share some best practices for vendors. And they were some really good tips.
Yep. Well, should we go back to San Antonio?
Giddy up, cowgirl. Let's go. What's up, SSA? Good morning, Sarah.
Coming to you live.
Live from San Antonio. We are taping our first episode of What's Up, SSA. What's Up, SSA is a podcast that's going to give you the inside line into what we are working on and what we are doing every day to bring value to your membership and to defend and modernize the self-storage industry.
Well, that sounds pretty important.
Let me be fully honest with you. Once upon a time, Sarah, somebody asked me if I had a full-time job. And right then and there, I knew that our members don't understand what we all do when we're not at these events. And I think that if we can show our members what we're doing, they will then see the value of their membership and understand how to maximize their membership benefits. And that's what we want to do here. We want you to know what's up with the SSA and how to take advantage of everything.
I love what you said about maximizing benefits, because
Yes.
I think that something that even our members don't understand are just the sheer amount of resources that are available to them, from data to legal advice to the inside scoop on advocacy, like we'll be talking to Joe about.
Education, common industry best practices that aren't always tackled in your state's lien law. There isn't a legislative solution in some cases. How can we best educate our members? Because if one person makes a mistake, we have all made a mistake, and we will all pay the price. So it is very important that our members know what to do and how to access that information. I'll tell you, the Self-Storage Association is no different than your local gym and your gym membership. If you continue to pay dues at your gym and you don't work out or you don't take advantage of anything, you probably won't be in any better health. If you're paying your dues, you need to come to the conferences, take advantage of your access to information, meet other people. 9 times out of 10, if you just network with somebody else, you are going to walk away with an actionable idea that will help your business. I don't want to age myself here, sweet Sarah, but I have been in this industry for multiple decades now, and it truly is a very friendly industry. People are happy to open up their robes, so to speak, and share secrets and share information and ideas and lessons learned, which I haven't found in other industries. Not that I've worked in another industry for a long time, but that's what I have found. And so I think our members truly care about the business and they want all of us to succeed.
What are you hoping to educate our members about the most that they may not know about yet?
Speaking as a professional that was in this industry for years prior to working for the SSA, I remember coming over to the SSA and realizing there were benefits that even I didn't understand, which is a little bit embarrassing, quite frankly. And I can't be the only one. I think the foundation is getting more and more credit now that we have Annette Peterson, who we'll talk to in a future episode. But a lot of people don't realize what a wonderful benefit the foundation is to get access to scholarship funds, not only for the SSA member, but their direct immediate family members, or any of their employees can apply. The Certified Self-Storage Manager course, this is an opportunity to give your team education and operations without leaving or traveling or booking a hotel room or sending them to a conference, and it's current, relevant data. And I'll tell you, a self-storage manager, it's a reward when they feel like they're being invested in. It's a compliment, and it shows that you want them to grow and stay with your organization. So between the CSSM, the foundation, and frankly some of the publications we offer, I think our members know about the Lien Law Guide and the Demand Study perhaps, but we have a plethora of other publications that our members can take advantage of. So we'll speak to Mike Blackett at some point on a future episode so he can talk to us about not only what's in-house now, but also what's coming for our members down the road.
Well, we are going to try to get a hold of Jenny so we can talk some events.
Very excited to bring Jenny in. What's up, SSA? I am here today with Jenny Stengel, Senior Vice President, Education and Meetings. Did I get that right, Jenny?
You got it.
I appreciate you taking a few minutes with us here today. I know that you and your team are really busy. This is the Olympics of what you all do. So, with that being said, you have planned many, many conferences over the years. I don't want to date any of us or age any of us. What stands out for you in San Antonio this year?
Well, I think we're most excited to be back in Texas. We haven't been here since, I believe, Dallas, which was 2009. And we're planning to come here in 2020, and then everybody knows what happened in March 2020. And so we've been trying to get back here ever since. So I think just being here, hopefully bringing some new operators that haven't been to one of our events in a while. The Texas SSA has been great in helping us promote the event, and we look forward to having a lot of them come and attend.
That's great. They're such a supportive group.
They are.
They really
are.
It's a really top-notch organization they've got there. So let me talk to you about this. When you and your team, who have been super busy, you get to leave after this week and recuperate a little bit, what will be your biggest priority for the events team once back in the office?
I think, first of all, tying up some of the loose ends we get after these, certainly surveying the attendees, reviewing them, making sure we've hit all the right notes while we're here, and if not, then obviously figure out ways to implement those in our future events.
Yes.
Also, we have a bunch of state meetings coming up, both regional and independent, that we also manage. So we're working on the education programs for them. That's an annual process. That's year-round.
Oh, yeah.
And with the help of other staff members like Erin, certainly, who leads up the western regions, work together. And then also we just dive right into Vegas
right.
at this point, because we're going to start asking for booth proposals, for speaker proposals, those types of things, just to get us ready for that next event. So,
and that speaker proposal process, Ginny, we talk about keeping the content fresh and relevant so that what we are offering our members provides value. How does your team make sure that we're staying relevant and competitive with our content?
I think probably the most important part of our process is that we do run it by an education committee, which consists of owner-operators, it consists of some vendors, And we, take the submissions that are sent to us. We just send them out, have them review it. Many give up a lot of time in order to review, up to 150 sometimes proposals, and narrow those down to a much smaller group, 20 to 25 sessions that we have.
So really that means it's the folks that are in self-storage every day are helping us pick the content.
Yeah, absolutely.
We rely on those folks. We really, really do.
100%. And that's for both education sessions. It's also in many of our state associations, we do that as well. If we're not going out with a proposal, we're certainly talking to their boards.
Oh, absolutely.
To come up with their programming. Certainly the roundtables that we have, those are all based on submissions and review by their peers.
Yeah. So anybody listening, one takeaway I'm hearing is if you want to get involved and make an impact and participate in things like this, be a member, get on the board, get on a committee, help us help you, in a sense.
100%. And we're always looking for new education committee members, keeping them fresh so that they're not burnt out after. Yeah, they put a lot of work into it.
Sure.
In addition to their day jobs, of course, which are very busy. But I'm so thankful that we have that pool of people to pull from.
Agreed. Well, you know that time moves quick once we hit the spring conference. Before you know it, we will all be standing in the ARIA lobby.
Yes, we
waiting for our 51st big conference, since we just celebrated the Big 50 in the fall. Is it safe to say that there is something big waiting for our members who attend Vegas this year?
There is.
That's exciting.
And they'll learn more about it here.
They will learn more about it here.
They will learn more about it here.
Okay, well, listen, I've committed to not letting the cat out of the bag.
Me too.
And it's really hard. If anybody's ever met me, I don't do secrets very well. But I assure you folks, Vegas will be another event not to miss.
Absolutely.
We have Joe Doherty with us, the man, the legend, our Executive Vice President and Chief Legal Officer. Thanks for being here, Joe.
I always like those introductions, Erin. You make me feel better about myself, so thank you.
I'm a fan.
Thanks for being here.
I'm a fan. I hope it comes through. What you do is very important to all of us. So I know you're busy at these conferences, already had quite a busy day, so I just want to take a little bit of your time. And I think let's get right to the meat of the matter. It is March right now. Legislative season has kicked off, if you will. You're in high gear. What is keeping you up at night?
So what's keeping me up at night is a 4-year-old daughter.
Oh.
But from a work perspective, what's keeping me up at night is all the surveillance pricing bills that we're tracking. We obviously have our agenda as an industry, but we're looking increasingly at issues that are beyond our industry, and surveillance pricing is the big one over these last 12 months or so. And I can get into that a little bit more if you want.
Okay, yeah, please do. My immediate question when I hear you explain this is, will we be collaborating with others to take this on?
Yes, we will. So this is something that, like the junk fee issue that's came before this but still ongoing, is much bigger than self-storage. We are not the target of these bills, but we're unfortunately getting swept up because of some of the bad practices of other industries and a need from legislators to try to regulate in this area.
Do you think we have a chance of getting removed?
I think so.
Okay.
And if we're unable to beat these bills entirely, that's our first and preferred step, is just let's beat these, let's get rid of this issue. But if we're not able to do that, we're going to pivot to exceptions for our industry or different treatment for our industry that just makes more sense. Because the way these bills are structured, they're really getting at one-off type of transactions, and they're not built for something like self-storage that's an ongoing, evergreen relationship.
Right. So will there be a time with this particular concern that we may need our members to go educate their legislators so that these legislators have a better understanding of our business?
Yes, for sure. That's a great question. And let me just take a second to explain what these bills are about. Surveillance pricing it's this term that was frankly invented during the Biden administration by the Federal Trade Commission to mean looking at the personal data of somebody to set personalized pricing for that person. And the scary dystopian type of example is Uber using the amount of charge you have left on your battery to charge you more. So you have 3 or 4% charge on your battery. They know you're desperate for the ride. They're going to charge you more for it.
Wow.
And that, as an industry, that's not what we do. But the way these bills are written, they're so broad in their definition of personal data that it includes something as simple as what promotion did the person receive? How long have they been renting from you? Those type of standard pieces of data that every operator takes into account when they're looking at making rate adjustments. And I think it would help us as an industry to have operators with our counsel and involvement from the association educating legislators about how we price our products and services and rentals, and we're not these boogeymen that these bills have in mind.
I would agree with that. Well, I hope that our members get the opportunity to educate these legislators so that they can make an impact for us, because that's truly what membership is all about, is making sure we've got people across the country who are true constituents that can get in the legislator's ear. Because as you know, Joe, they don't always want to hear from you or Tim or Daniel.
That's exactly right. They hear from, and we say this over and over again because it's true, they hear from folks like us all the time. We have hired lobbyists in about 30 states this year. They hear from those types of folks all the time. But if they can hear from their constituents, the people who are actually going to be impacted by this legislation, it just goes, it's probably 3 or 4-fold hearing from a lobbyist.
Absolutely. It's sort of a tagline I've come up with within our membership and events group, in that we need our members to be here for us so that we can be there for them.
That's exactly right.
So I see a future tagline coming with that one, Joe. All right, well, good stuff. Well, that is very interesting and something I suspect we will likely talk about again on this podcast as we roll down that hill, if you will. Okay. Well, one exciting part of our conference that is a staple of our programming is the Friday closing session, the Legal Power Hour. Now, I know that you're aware of the history. It used to be Carlos and Scott. They were the closing session, and now you are on that stage with Scott Zucker. What can our members expect to take away from the Legal Power Hour?
So I'm actually going to have the pleasure to be with both of those guys on Friday.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3 of us. And
wow.
I've had an opportunity to present separately with both of them just because of different circumstances where one couldn't be there, but I'm excited to be able to present with both of them and really give a broader legal perspective. We had a great closing session at the 50th anniversary in Las Vegas where we had, 5 attorneys on the stage. And I think just getting those additional perspectives gives that much more value to the members. And I encourage folks who are on the fence about sticking around on Friday, make sure you're there.
I agree. And, I've always said this too. If you learn one thing from a legal session, you have more than paid for your membership, your trip to the conference, all of that, because legal problems can be expensive, and so can getting legal guidance at times.
That's exactly right.
I think it is money well spent, so you might as well stay till the very end and at least get that return on your investment with that legal information as well.
Yeah, please do. We're looking forward to seeing everybody.
Oh, this is very exciting. Well, listen, you're a busy guy. You've got laws to change and an industry to protect, Joe, so I thank you for being here on this episode of What's Up SSA.
Thanks for having me. I look forward to coming back.
Good morning, good afternoon.
We're not quite sure which.
No, we're not. As you can tell by the tone of my voice, it's definitely day 2 of the conference.
Which means it's successful.
It is
a successful conference.
It has been a great conference. The amount of networking and connections being made is incredible. It's everything we hoped for. We have moved to the trade show floor today, hoping to get some fresh content, some fresh faces, and frankly, just be up in everybody's business a little bit.
Yeah, which is always the best part of conference. Honestly, I love, now that I've been in the industry for a few years, I love seeing everybody reunite all the time, and I know that these people see each other at other shows, in other places. Everybody gets here, and it's like they're just best friends.
I love it so much. We are a very tight industry.
Erin, I know that your career has taken you all over, big traveler, big trade show attendee. What about our trade shows do you think keeps people coming back for more?
I think there's a few things. that keep our attendees coming back year over year, whether they need to be here or not. To your point earlier, it is a little bit like a family. We want to see each other. We want to hang out with our storage buddies. We don't want to miss anything. I also think, too, there's always something new to learn and see. So if I'm not in a position to buy something or replace a door or whatever it is you're looking for, I still want to come and check out the latest products. What's next, what's new, what new gadget, what tech, so that I can stay aware of what the industry's doing.
You don't know what you don't know.
I definitely don't know what I don't know. So,
and you're not going to find it unless you're here.
Absolutely. And the great thing about our trade show, too, is you get the decision makers here. These are folks who have been in the industry a long time. They know what they're doing. They're not coming up to booths saying, I got a plot of land. I think I might build something. Like, no, these folks are long down the road and in the process of either redeveloping or building their second, third, and fourth facility. These aren't folks just thinking about getting in the industry at our show.
Yeah, one thing that when I talked to some of our vendors and I got to interview them for our 50th anniversary content, one thing they really emphasized was just the level of quality of vendor and attendee.
Yes.
Where it's like everyone's kind of vetted before they get here as a quality connection. Like anybody you sit next to at the cafe, anybody that's coming by the trade show booth, it's a certain level within the industry, which is interesting because also it's so welcoming to the new people. And we are actually coming to you live from the membership zone on the trade show floor.
Get in the zone.
Membership zone.
Member zone.
Oh, no, we have already sung on the podcast. Oh,
well,
no.
That's at least I haven't said outstanding yet. It's early.
Cut that out. Our membership booth on the trade show floor is now physically and digitally known as the Member Zone.
That's right. Come lounge, come hang out with your SSA representatives. As I like to say, we are your wingmen at this conference. So come pull a chair up, hang out with us. We want you here.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always just people to answer your questions about any events coming up or any of your benefits or how to become a member.
How to maximize your membership. What am I paying for and how can I get the most out of this?
Absolutely.
And that's why we're here. We want to help you and walk you through that process.
Oh, and here comes the team right now.
Oh, our team is starting to
team.
fill in. Julia Bankert is now on the trade show floor. She's our Director of Membership. I see Stephanie Satterfield, Director of Marketing and Member Outreach.
And later we are going to talk to Julie LaRose.
That's right, Senior Vice President of Membership and State Association Management. Very excited to talk to Julie later today. All right, we are back on the trade show floor here at What's Up SSA, and I am fortunate enough to have our Senior Vice President of Membership and State Associations, Julie LaRose, with us. Julie, welcome.
Thanks for having me. What's up, SSA?
What's
Here
up?
we are on the trade show floor, day 2 of our spring conference here in San Antonio.
We are in the new member zone. What does that mean for our members, the member zone?
You know, we created the member zone and debuting it here in San Antonio as a space where our members could get to connect. They could get together, they could connect with each other, and also from our perspective, meet us.
Yes.
We work for you. Every employee here at the SSA loves self-storage, we love our members, and we work for our members each and every day. So they can come and meet us, they can get help, they can get their legal questions answered, they can connect with other like-minded operators, and it's been full the whole trade show.
It really has. And you know, what I appreciate about this new member zone is we can't know how to serve our customers unless we know our customers.
Correct.
So if I don't spend some time with you and find out what's important to your business, I'm probably not going to be much help to you down the road.
Absolutely right. You know, regardless of where you are in your journey as an operator, whether you're new, whether you're a small operator, a medium operator, or a large operator, each one of those levels require different things.
Yes.
And it's not a one-size-fits advice or model or connection. This member zone allows us to talk to our customers where they are and what we need to do to work for them.
Yes.
So we can protect their business, we can make them more successful.
You know, you brought up a good point in that everybody's journey is a little bit different depending upon where they are. And, you know, it's the first thing I think about when somebody just strolls over to our booth and goes, What's a benefit of membership? Well, I need to know a little bit about you so I can help identify the benefits that are going to mean the most to you. Again, why it's so important to come talk to us, get to know us, so that we can identify how we can help you.
Absolutely. It's the first question I ask somebody whenever they come up to me and they want to talk to me. They say that.
Yeah.
What's a benefit of, why should I join?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Why should I pay the SSA money?
Yep.
I answer with a question back, which I know you're not supposed to do, but I answer with a question back to say, you tell me, where are you in your journey
That's
in
right.
storage? And then it's my job to then connect you with the resources that is going to help you get started in this business, connect you with people who are going to tell you the right things, and so you do your business ethically, and we all grow together as an industry.
That's right. And I like to remind our members too that as the Nonprofit Trade Association, we don't have a dog in the fight.
We don't. You're absolutely right.
I'm not recommending vendors to you because we're getting a kickback or there's any sort of relationship whatsoever. In fact, for those vendors listening right now, we just send people to the vendor directory. We are not going to choose one door company over another. We're going to send our members to the vendor directory and say, hey, these folks support our industry. These folks do good business and they can be trusted. It's up to you to pick which one you want to use.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And that is a benefit of membership. We have publicly facing vendor directories as well as facility directories. And Erin and I do this on a daily basis. Somebody is in Idaho. We can literally look at that vendor directory, connect them with another like-minded operator,
Yep.
and that might be their competitor.
Well, that's my favorite part of this industry, too, is how friendly. Everybody's got their robe open. They're happy to share. There is not a lot of secrecy or folks not wanting to share or help. And I feel like that's unique to our industry.
It is very unique, and I always say that self-storage is like a family reunion. Every single week, Erin and I travel a lot, working on behalf of the association at the state level, and it's a family reunion every single week.
It is.
And I came from the education space, and you would think that educators and teachers are very transparent and sharing, and they are, and they're very collaborative. Self-storage is on a whole nother level.
It sure is.
You can connect them with any operator, especially if they're new in this space, and they will literally take them out to coffee. We've had that experience where Erin and I are hosting an event online. 2 people attending in their own offices or homes realize they're
up the road from
by.
each other. Yeah.
And they're like, we got to go. We're going to have coffee.
And they did.
And they did.
They got off the call and they drove to each other and met. It was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
They were strangers, but, like-minded issues, and I think they still coordinate and collaborate.
They do.
Those are our members up in Oregon.
They do. And the self-storage industry, and I feel like the association, too, influences that a great deal, is we're stronger together.
One person makes a mistake in this industry, and we will all pay for it.
We will. Absolutely.
One misstep, one military unit sold that shouldn't have been sold, and we are going to face a level of regulation that we wouldn't have had to if we'd all just acted accordingly and followed the proper rules.
Correct.
And so that's why the education is so important, and connecting others with each other is so important. And again, to tie it all together, come connect in the member zone, right?
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. You guys are going to hear a lot from Julie for a couple of reasons. She's the biggest cheerleader for our membership, and quite frankly, one of my favorite colleagues and fun to hang out with.
Same.
So you'll get our banter
You
a
see
lot,
us
guys.
together.
Yeah,
Usually,
you do.
yeah.
It's usually
One
a
without the
duo.
other, yeah.
It's usually a duo. Sometimes it's later in the evening. Sometimes it's not.
Fair.
Just depends.
Fair.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. I know we're going to talk to some vendors next on What's Up SSA to learn a little bit about why they can't miss an SSA trade show. So we'll be back. We are here on the trade show floor in San Antonio, and I've got Bryn Lee from Zircor. Welcome, Bryn.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being willing to sit down and chat with me.
Absolutely. I always have a minute for the SSA.
Yay! All right, well, let's get right down to business. We are going to talk Young Leaders Group today. The Young Leaders Group, in my mind, are the future leaders of our industry. But I know it's much more than that. So talk to me a little bit about why the YLG is so fantastic and so important for those under 40 in our industry.
I was actually kind of reflecting on this the other day as I was training one of our new staff members, but self-storage is interesting. It's kind of in a paradox right now because it is a really young industry, right? Self-storage kind of emerged in the 70s. So with that, we see that a lot of the players who started self-storage are still around. Hall of Fame members are still around. But we have kind of hit the point where they're starting to think about retirement.
Yeah.
And, their successors are kind of making, the money moves now, right?
Yeah.
So we're seeing that shift. It's getting not younger, but there's kind of being a guard shift.
I
Finally,
agree.
right?
I would say younger.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable saying younger.
Yeah. So I think it's a really good time to be involved with the YLG because there's almost a new class of kind of leaders emerging right now, and it's really important to maintain that level of connection because one thing that people in this industry always talk about is how much it feels like a family, even competitors are friends. And I think that is an environment we want to continue to cultivate.
Yes.
And so I think that's why YLG is really important, especially right now, because it's an opportunity to maintain that friendship among competitors, that kind of closeness, that relationship building within the industry. And YLG has a lot of opportunities to cultivate those friendships. And it's not just, networking and education or receptions. It's kind of like just always a place where you can go to talk, to like bounce ideas off of each other, things like that. And it's always great to have a sounding board, a safe space to kind of talk through those ideas, especially kind of in this time. So
I think you brought up a good point in terms of, some of the old guard is changing, but making sure that next generation or that next crop, if you will, of industry leaders understands the history and why community is so important to us.
Absolutely.
I think historically the industry has always been sort of an open kimono industry, right?
Yes.
We have no secrets we want to share because if you do well, I do well.
Mm-hmm.
If you do poorly, the whole industry could be impacted by
Absolutely.
that. So I love that cultivation of, not only history, but then, like you said, a safe space for like-minded people that are relatively the same age to network. Heck, I dare say, people might be finding new jobs and stuff within these groups if they needed it, but which is great. Keeps you in the industry, keeps those contacts fresh. Now, that's not the purpose of the group, but those friendships can go a long way over the years as maybe you make changes in your career. Now, you did mention the receptions. Now, as somebody that's been around this industry for quite a long time, the YLG, you guys are party animals.
What?
Yes, you are. Don't be
Not
humble.
us.
Oh, you got some of the receptions in the history of the YLG have been late and wild.
What?
Oh, well. I've aged out, so perhaps
I may have dabbled in karaoke at a reception here or there, but always get my beauty
as well. So, how long have you participated in the YLG?
I've been in the industry for about 4 years now, so about 4 years.
The whole time?
Yep.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And do you encourage other vendors? Are you working to kind of grow the YLG as well right now, or kind of through word of mouth?
Absolutely. I think there are different committees associated with the YLG. I myself am on the Marketing and Communications Committee. These committees are really great because they're kind of targeted. They focus on, bringing in fresh meat and, making sure people are aware of what's going on, especially when you're new to the industry. Like, we can often take for granted, this is how the show's going to go. This is the itinerary. Like, we kind of get used to that, but people who are new to the industry aren't always, aware, the reception's usually on Thursday, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So I think, the newsletter, all of the social media that the YLG does to kind of make sure that everyone is aware of what's going on, make sure that they know that they're being included, make sure that they know that that is a safe space for them to kind of learn and grow. So they do a quarterly newsletter.
Great.
Social media, things like that.
Keep everybody sort of engaged in the off season, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, because we all see each other and get a bunch of stuff done at these big conferences, but then there is a time block where we're not together. We go back to basics, go back to work. We don't see each other. So I love that you guys are communicating and keeping everybody in touch throughout the year as well.
Yeah. We do. I'm on the Marketing Communications Committee, and Maggie and Rodolfo are both really great at kind of giving us our tasks, keeping us in line. Making sure that it's a well-oiled machine.
I love that.
Everyone kind of really wants it to succeed, and so I think that's why we do a good job of.
It sounds like you guys are all holding each other accountable and trying to grow the group.
Yes.
Well, speaking as an old-timer, we appreciate you fostering the younger and the next generation, if you will, but you hit it spot on earlier where things are changing. I've been coming to these trade shows for 24 years now, which is terrifying. And the more I come, the more people I don't know, because it's new faces. I used to walk around and know everybody, and now I feel a little bit more anonymous. I don't know half the people walking around, which means I better start getting to know them. I got some work to do.
I think the word is kind of getting out that self-storage is a really good industry to be in.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Hey, it's a lot of fun too.
It is.
If I'm being honest, I don't think any of us are hanging around because we love roll-up doors, but we love this industry and the people.
It's the only reason I'm here.
Just for the locks and the doors. That's it.
That's why we're across from the Janus booth.
I love the sound of a roll-up door in the morning. My goodness.
Just does something for me.
I do feel this industry is a little bit unique in the camaraderie and the love we all have for each other. It does feel like a big family.
Yeah, and I think you kind of touched on it a little bit, and I just wanted to give you guys an extra shout out. The open kimono policy, I think, is in large part because of the work that you guys do at the SSA, and it's making sure that education is open to everyone.
Yes.
And I think that's incredibly important. People feel comfortable in this industry because they can ask questions.
Yes. There is no silly question. Like I touched on earlier, one person makes a mistake, there's a chance we're all going to pay for it.
Exactly.
So my God, please come to the conference. Please get educated. Please ask the hard questions.
Get the legal updates from Joe.
Get the legal update from Joe.
Listen.
Make sure your rental agreement is updated.
Absolutely.
So in the YLG, one final question for you before I let you get back to work. Are you finding folks part of the YLG that are in that transition, meaning mom and dad are getting ready to turn over the business and I'm the next generation sort of coming in and I'm going to approach things differently because I'm a lot younger than mom and dad. And there is that struggle as people start to do business differently and modernize maybe mom and dad's property.
Yeah.
Mom and dad still want to just be 90% occupied, not have auctions and not do anything and be safe. Mm-hmm. So I think that's tough for some folks.
I can speak to this because I work with my mother as well.
Yes.
So there is a level of tension that, we do disagree on things. And so there's that added level of I do want to do things a little bit differently, but, I don't want to, cause any conflict. I don't want to
overstep.
I don't want to overstep, and I have a tendency to speak up maybe more than I should.
That's why we love you, Bryn.
I know. Oh, I try. But, and I work with a lot of folks who are inheriting their business from their parents, and you see the changes that they want to make.
Yeah.
And they're exciting, and they're not wrong, and they're just different.
Yeah.
There's just different approaches. And it's really exciting because YLG is a safe space to kind of talk to other people who may not be working with family members so that they do have a little bit more here's why we're doing it. And then and then the kids can kind of come back to their company and be like, here is another reason why.
Yeah, here's some credibility to my idea,
exactly.
Ma. There's actually a lot of people doing
logos.
this.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and so I think it is, and kind of going back to the point we were saying is it's an opportunity to ask questions in a safe environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, somebody came by our booth in closing and wanted to know if they, as long as they're under 40, there's no extra fee. They can join the YLG. They can come participate. That is accurate, correct?
Absolutely.
Good. So, ladies and gentlemen, anybody under 40, if you are not participating in the YLG, you are
What
missing.
are you doing?
First of all, you're missing out. What do you know?
Why?
Yeah.
Give me one good reason.
Stop hanging out with the old timers like myself. Go hang out with some more age
Come
appropriate.
hang out with me.
Yes, the fun, the new, the exciting. Anyway, I appreciate your time. Bryn Lee, Zircor, you are the best, and we appreciate your support and your mom Maureen's support as well.
Yes, we appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for stopping by. What's up, SSA?
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at What's Up SSA live on the trade show floor, and I am lucky enough to have my friend Sydney LaHost.
LaHost,
Host, ma'am. She is the Regional Director of Business Development at Elevate Structures, one of our members and big supporters. Thank you for sitting down with me today.
Thank you, Erin. I'm just so honored that you asked me to be here.
Wow. Good vendors, good times. Come on the show and talk to me. Listen, I know you're busy. There's a long line of people at your booth. There's leads flying all around, so I won't take up too much of your time. A couple quick questions for you, if you don't mind.
Yes,
all right.
Let's go.
As a vendor, why is it important for you to exhibit at the SSA trade shows?
Great question, Erin. I really think it's so important. Number one, you have to have a presence here. If you have one customer, 50 customers, 100 customers, you want them to know that you are a real business with potential, and you want to make sure that you're supporting those customers and that they can come to you at any time. Just really important to be here, have a presence.
I absolutely agree with that. And I've found, too, as you likely have, that sometimes the guy that stops by for just even a few questions, if it's not a hard pressure situation, he ends up coming back.
Absolutely.
You educated him, you gave him some info, it wasn't a hard pressure situation. Now you've made a customer for life.
That's right. And look, we're here to be a resource for you, whether we do business or not. Let's create a relationship, right?
I love
you
that.
never know when that customer is going to come back around.
I love that. You and I think a lot alike. I used to tell some of our prospective members that I don't want your membership money today. I'll earn it. I'm not worried about getting your money. I'll get your money.
That's right.
I'm here to help you today.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Like-minded people, girl. Well, let me ask you this. If you had a brand new exhibitor, a new vendor member come up to you and say, what's one tip you would give me? What is one tip for a new exhibitor?
Only one?
Well, you can give as many as you want, because I bet you've got more than one.
I definitely would say that you should register early, pick your booth, make sure that you have a good location. I would say set up your booth before you come, because you want to make sure that you don't forget anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
smart.
That's right. And I would say don't just sit behind the table. Don't just stand there. Make sure that when people are walking by, they might feel awkward as well.
Sure.
Go up, introduce yourself, talk to people, be outgoing, and just really get out there and try to meet new people.
Isn't it funny how far just a pleasant smile and a hello can get somebody?
Absolutely. Even not in the exhibitor room, but when you're walking, just say hey to everyone.
Exactly.
Let's talk.
And I won't call out any of our vendors specifically here on this podcast out of respect, but I do walk the trade show floor sometimes, and you just see a guy sitting down with his arms folded, and it's like,
Yeah.
why'd you spend the money?
And
why are you here?
That's not inviting.
No.
Be inviting.
Not at all. I don't want to, because like you said, I might have my own awkwardness or whatever, and if you're not inviting and you look like you're miserable, I'm just going to find another booth.
Absolutely.
I'm not doing that.
I want people that want to talk to me, and
Yes.
so you got to be that person.
That's right. I totally agree. All right. In the effort of, again, respecting your time and not trapping you here at What's Up SSA, one more question for you. What's the most fun you've had so far this week?
That's a hard question. Well, I love hanging out with you, Erin, and
Woo.
my new friend Sarah,
Yes.
SSA over
Yes.
here. But really, I love meeting new people. I love being on the Riverwalk.
Yes.
So beautiful.
Yep.
And, just going to dinner and creating those relationships with clients.
I agree. It's nothing like a fun destination,
That's
too. And
right.
San Antonio has been a lot
And
of
my
fun.
first time here.
Me
so
too. And I would come back.
I would too.
It's a great city.
Loving it.
Everybody's friendly. Now, I don't understand like a guardrails on the river, but I don't think that's what this podcast is about. I'm just lucky I haven't fallen in the river at this
That's
point.
right, yeah.
This episode of What's Up SSA was hosted by Erin Lightfoot and produced by Sarah Kautzman. All content in this podcast is owned by the Self-Storage Association, the only U.S. not-for-profit organization serving as the official trade association of the self-storage industry. To access member and industry resources or to become a member, please visit selfstorage.org.
I love the sound of a roll-up door in the morning.